What is stopping us from creating our own homegrown local defense industry? Because it's also a part of the problem is equipment. In one of the operations I don't want to mention, there was no communication because terrestrial network was not available. You see, if you say, for example, you take a Super Tucano, you fire one precision-guided missile that costs you $100,000, how many of such can Nigeria afford to deploy? What is Iran doing? They take a model of the Soviet armament that they have, they backward engineer, you know, create local capability, and they can maintain supply. How did China get to where it has gotten to? It's taking some part of armament from the US and Russia, and they've done some backward integration, and they can achieve some self-sustenance. Nigeria can't even provide even just rounds for AK-47s. We are not sufficient in that. And then we are talking about small skirmishes.
What about the cooperation that we have, Nigerian Defense?
DICON. You see, the problem with DICON is that, and I know that they are listening, we must deregulate DICON like the telecom sector to bring in local funding, because it takes private sector to fuel innovation globally. State corporations cannot fuel the innovation that we need. We are seeing some good progress with Trackforce, with Innocent Motors. At least they are beginning to export. Nigeria is exporting some vehicles, but not as complex as we should be. You know, we're talking about a domain of war where drone warfare is now priority. What are we producing in that space? You talked about intelligence and surveillance. There's ISR, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. You see, the bigger problem for our military when they go out on fighting operation is that they are fighting blind. They don't have eyes in the sky. We've not yet perfected the art of combined arms warfare. We are still morphing, you know, and you are facing an asymmetric force that is agile, that is mobile, that does a hit and run tactics while you are static. You need technology, and those technologies are available. Some private entities are using them to solve their own problem. In the case of Zamfara, the problem they have is not too complex. There's a certain vulnerability, and you see the DSS in this work correctly was able to pinpoint where he was and to move in, showing you that the Nigerian law enforcement can do their job if they are resourced. We've seen the law enforcement pick up Evans in a very complex operation that took months. You see, but logistics is also a bigger problem. So it's not that we cannot do the job, and I agree with you, Kyle, that it's not that the military cannot do its job. In all the foreign operations we've deployed our military to, we've always come back with very flying colors. We did work on Liberia, we did work on Sierra Leone, you know, where even a platoon commander could call for air support because the resources were there and they were lavish.